Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Draco, and it's time to do another of these Terraforming Mars top 5s. And so it's time to go through the expansions that are out for the game so far. We're really excited for the Prelude expansion coming in a few months here. But for now we're going to talk about Venus, the Venus Next expansion. So my top 5 things that I enjoyed from the Venus Next expansion. And it's really hard to really put these in order, but basically it's five things in the expansion that I think really something that I really enjoy. It really heightens the experience of playing Terraforming Mars. And so let's get straight into it for my number 5. My number 5 thing in Venus Next is these new floaters. So floaters is a sort of a resource that you can have on cards. There's a bunch of different ones on these. I just took these two as an example. So like this one, you have an action to add a floater to the card, and then you could do the action of removing a floater here to draw a card. So you had microbes, we had the animals and so on, but now we also have the floaters. I think they are great. And on this one, this is one that I really like. You can add a floater, and then the floaters that are here are a sort of a passive ability. They can be used just like titanium, basically. They're worth 3 each if you purchase a Venus tag card. So you can get some really nice combos. And this one you can sort of load the floaters up to be used to pay for other Venus cards. So that's my number 5, the new resource floaters. And my number 4 thing in Venus Next expansion that I really enjoy is these sort of added milestone and awards. So this one is for floaters that I just talked about. So what you do is you just put them here like this, and you have a new award and a new milestone. So you have 6 instead of 5. And this really adds to the game, and I think these are really cool. That, I mean, it's so easy to just expand the game with new tiles like these and just add them like this. You could even have, I think I talked about it a bit in my top 5 ideas for Terraforming Mars. You can check that out if you haven't. Just click the link there, where I talked about you could actually have a whole tile that you would put over here in the same shape as this one. You can just have new milestones just for variation. So I really like this one, and of course the same here goes for the awards. Same there, you could have a big piece that you put over here, but I think the Venus file is really cool and really goes well with the expansion and so on for Venus Next. So that's my number 4. Now let's head to 3. So number 3, well, there's 5 new corporations for Venus that comes with Venus Next, and they're all cool. They all have nice abilities and so on, but Viron is my favorite. I think this is just so cool. You get an action with using Viron. You get an action to activate a blue card again. So let's say you already did this one, you already activated it. You will put your little marker on here to indicate that it's already used this generation. Well, then you can do this action on Viron and you can use it again. So you can really boost up these action card combinations. I really love when you find a synergy between these cards, and you can start getting, like, this card will feed another card and so on. That's so cool. So I really like Viron. That it's my number 3 sort of favorite thing in the expansion Venus Next. And number 2 is a certain card, actually. Well, it's sort of the effect on the card, actually. It's not just this card, but the effect here is that you would, to play this, you'll pay as usual. You'll have to discard a card from hand and then draw 3 cards. But what I really like is that you also will, all opponents will get to draw a card. And this is sort of a new mechanic or new thing in Terraforming Mars, where you get this positive interaction. That's one of my favorite words lately. A sort of interaction between the players in a game that is positive. You do something, and it will benefit the others as well. So you do this. I mean, there's a few of these, you know, asteroids. You destroy someone's plans. You do something. You steal something from them. That's sort of negative interaction. But with these sponsored academies, they actually gain something from your action. I think that's just great. I hope we will see more of these, this type of interaction in the future for Terraforming Mars. So that is it's my number 2 thing in Venus Next, positive interaction. And my number 1, my favorite thing with the Venus Next expansion, I can't really show it anyhow, but it's the world government. Now the world government rule, it's a new rule. You could use it with just the standard game as well, or with the Hellas and Elysium or whatever, but it's just so great. What it means is, for those of you that don't know this, is that whoever is the first player, when everybody's passed and it's time to go to the next generation and pass the first player marker along, before that happens, the first player gets to decide one of the parameters. It could be the heat, it could be the oxygen, it could be putting out an ocean, or affecting the Venus board, which is nice in itself by the way, but it didn't make my top 5. But affecting one of these, and the thing is, you don't get anything from doing that. It's the world government that is doing it, so no player gets a benefit from it. But you can sort of, let's say you're over here, you can see that one more step of heat raise or temperature raise will increase heat production by 1 for whoever does it. And you just been the first player, right? So you're gonna be the last player in the next upcoming generation. And then you can see that the player sitting to your left has 8 total of heat and can do that and get that bonus. And you want to stop them, so you have the world government do it instead, and nobody gets the bonus. I love that. That is just so great. You could same up here for the bonus here and so on. And also it could be that maybe you have a card that needs 4% oxygen to play it. Well, you can have the world government do that and you're up to 4%. So that is just so great. And I even recommend it if you're just playing standard Terraforming Mars, use that rule. It also makes the game shorter, of course, because Mars will be terraformed much quicker, and I like that in the game. I mean, the game is fun. I could play it for a long time, but I'd rather play 2 games than instead just back to back and have it a bit shorter. Also, the world government is awesome for solo play. I really love it in the solo play. Where you also have to, by the way, do all of this. This is optional in the multiplayer game, but in the solo game you have to do the Venus board as well. And having that sort of, so that adds, what is it, I think 15 steps here, but you still have to do it in 14 generations. But then you have the world government, so 13 times you will have the world government do something. And you can do, depending on what cards you have, you can have the world government do, for example, I usually let them do the oxygen, because it's the most expensive one if we go by cost here to sort of do this by standard projects if you don't have the correct cards for it. But let's say you have a lot of greenery production, a lot of plant production, then maybe the thing that you really need help with is to put out oceans. Then you can have the world government put out oceans. You can also do it in such a way that the world government will put out oceans and sort of set it up for you. So maybe they put it out like this in 3 generations, that the world government can do that. And then you put out an ocean here and you get 6 credits for that, plus the plant, of course. So it's a really nice way to improve the game by just adding a simple rule, basically. It's just genius. I love that. So that was my top 5 things in Terraforming Mars Venus Next. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will watch the other ones. There's a big playlist. You just click the link. I think there's, like 40 videos of Terraforming Mars in different ways. Check that out if you haven't. And I hope you have a great evening or morning. Whenever you're watching this, take care. Bye-bye.
Breathe in. Look into these eyes. Subscribe to the channel. Now, exhale. Board Games with Niramas is sponsored by Alara Games in Sweden.